People at home struggling desperately. Lots of questions about whether or not the government could do more to help with that. We heard from the chief of E.ON over the weekend talking about numbers of his customers living in fuel poverty at 20%, expected to double by the autumn. That's a shocking statistic, isn't it, in modern-day Britain?
Well, we absolutely recognise the seriousness of events, and clearly we are in a global inflationary battle at the moment, driven by the combination of COVID and major transport and trade hubs like Shanghai are still in a very hard lockdown, but also by the impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has caused a massive dislocation of commodity markets from fuel to wheat. We need to take decisive action. We have done that. We've put in place a package of measures worth £22 billion already this year to help families. We stand ready to do more as the situation demands, and you can rest assured you will be hearing more from us about this in the weeks and months ahead. OK, well, what are we expected to hear? I mean, are you in favour, and I'm not talking about you personally, but do you think the government is now going to, as is being widely briefed, head towards this windfall tax, which could generate around £2 billion, I think? And how can you reassure people at home that that money will actually go to the most in need, those people who need the cash? There's an argument, is there not, that a better way to help the poorest in this crisis would be perhaps to cut VAT, or, as George Osborne has been saying over the weekend, just to send cheques in the post? Well, we absolutely do want to make sure that whatever action we take is targeted, as you rightly say, to those most in need, and that is a complex technical question that we need to get right, and that is an argument for taking the time required to really get this help to those most in need ahead of the autumn and winter ahead, when the energy crisis will be most acute. In terms of the windfall tax, my answer is it depends. It depends if we see the reinvestment of the extraordinary profits that the sector is currently making into the next generation of North Sea oil and gas extraction. We need to see those profits being turned into something useful for the real economy in terms of unlocking the new investment in the North Sea basin, which is vital for our energy security in terms of easing the squeeze on prices and, crucially, in weaning us off over reliance on Russia. If we don't see that, then, as the Chancellor has rightly said, no option can be ruled out, and a windfall tax is, of course, on the table as part of that policy mix. So it is in the sector's hands, if you like, whether they reinvest in the way that we expect them to. But if they don't, they are on notice that we will need to consider all our options.